1 qualification, 2 destinations. O-level students can save time, money and stress. For 288,000 rupees, complete the ACBT Foundation in 8 months and enroll into universities in UK, Australia or ACBT partnered universities in Sri Lanka. Enrolling now. Call 071 115 1234.
Will Sri Lanka permit the entry of the Chinese fertilizer ship? What did Indian billionaire Gautam Adani tell the Sri Lankan president? Will farmers abandon their lands in the Maha season? Cardinals warning. One dead in the Kotikawata shootout.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And welcome back to Newsline Live. It's a recording this evening with the Cabinet Minister of Plantations, Dr. Ramesh Pathirana. Dr. Pathirana, you know, you've explained all these things about the fertilizer, the potential interference or not by the Malaysian ambassador and now the Chinese ambassador as well. But all these things, and I know that we're down money because we don't have tourism dollars. Our foreign remittances are also down, and only some of the things are keeping us going, like our exports, tea and so on. They're doing quite well, but there are some people who are making gloves, you know, rubber products have also gone up. Some of the COVID-related items gone up and so on. But politically speaking, for you and your party, are times tough?
Of course, yes, you can see that. But globally, it's a tough time. That's what we need to acknowledge. Sri Lankans are aware of the Sri Lankan situation. So they are sort of protesting in relation to certain things that happen in the country, especially as a government, we are very keen to ensure that we provide a safe and a better passage to the people of this country. So government and personally as a representative of the people, you wouldn't want to see the prices being, you know, skyrocketed over a period of time. But again, those are linked to the global supply chains. You know that oil prices and the other commodity prices, including the wheat flour, milk powder, and all those items, including sugar, had gone up in the world market.
No, Dr. Pathirana, my question to you is politically for your party, for the SLPP, and in terms of their existence in this country, in Sri Lanka. Is it fair to say that the fortunes of this party lie with one person, and his name being Basil Rajapaksa?
He is a very good organizer, but politically, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was the icon of the foundation.
Yes, we know that this national treasure, Mahinda, is getting on a bit now, and it's time for him really to sit. Take some time off and write his book, because it might be a bestseller. How to run a country, how to win elections, how to win a war even.
No, what I want to mention here is, for us, a year ago in 2020, August, we won the general election with a landslide majority. So we, first time in the history under this preferential vote system, we have recorded 2/3 majority in the parliament. So 1 year after that, we have come to a relatively lower level popularity wise. Why it happened? It's not okay. If you say it's fault of the government, I may say yes and no, but you know, there are certain things we could manage and certain things which we couldn't manage because it's beyond our control.
Right, yeah.
So the people are very disappointed about the price hike. Can we control it? Up to a certain extent, yes, but once you look at the open economic model, if we can't import because our rupee is depreciating, if the supply chain is broken, if the world commodity price has gone up, considering all those factors, there are certain things we could control.
But we've only roughly spent, according to the Ministry of Finance figures, approximately 131 billion on assisting this pandemic damage. Although the governor of the central bank has put that figure at 700, and factcheck.lk have said that that's wrong. The correct figure is as put out by the Ministry of Finance. My point is this, that the government, whether you have the money or not, it's something else. But the fact is that our government have left most of the help to the private sector. The private sector hasn't been given any, they've been given moratoriums. You got moratoriums expire at some point. So my point is the government really hasn't spent enough. Whether they have it or not is a different matter. And under this new monetary theory, MMT, you can print as much as you like. But back to the thing. Where's the money? What help have you given to the people, really?
No, that apart from that 131 billion rupees you mentioned in relation to the health expenditure, we provided assistance to the people as well. That's coming up to about 80 billion Sri Lankan rupees. If you could remember, we provided this, families with 5,000 rupee installments twice, and again 2,500. Yeah. So the people at the low economic level and who had lost their, the income for a period of. But can the government continue to do that? As you mentioned correctly, government can't go ahead printing money. That would be reflected in inflation. And the cost of living is also going up. So you can't, adhere to that model over a period of time. So, and the important question you asked is, from where do we get that money? That's the tax income. So we have curtailed our income levels at different positions, including starting from, we reduced VAT from 15% to 8%. No cess, no PAL, no NBT, no pay tax. So we have to critically look at the situation. Can a government go like this? Sri Lanka is one of the countries where the tax income is lowest in the world. So we are looking at that one critically. I hope Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa would take corrective measures when he's presenting the budget next time. We have to ensure that we have to have that income model. We have to generate sufficient income locally and also internationally. We have to get that foreign. As you correctly mentioned, we have lost about 10 billion rupees in successive years in relation to tourism.
Who will we see the next
let me
leader?
finish about income and the economic model. So we are gradually regaining that. It's good that we have seen some tourist arrivals.
Yes, we had about 7,000 arrive on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. It's gradually going up, and foreign remittances is also going up. Thankfully, our the export income from the garment industry and also from the plantation sector is gradually going up. Then year to year 20% growth. So hopefully from January onwards we see a better day, and with that, we hope that we expect to stabilize the rupee value, and also it might come down further. And the commodity prices might go down after about 3 to 4 months' time.
Well, we hope
expectation
so.
We have.
We hope so. But I want to ask you this thing, because you're coming towards the end. What of the family agenda? Will there be who will lead this LPP to even greater heights after this president and after this prime minister?
No,
will it be another Rajapaksa? That's the main question.
Well, mechanism-wise, we have long time to go before an election, Faraz. So it's the first year. It's the first year of the new government, and
we need to plan.
Underlying
we
mechanism
need to plan for the future.
So we, I would say, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is an apolitical man. That's why he took that decision in relation to fertilizer matter. A politician can't take that decision.
That's right.
But that's a bold move. But we have to ensure that we address different matters in relation to the execution.
But my dear friend, the president's nephew, your friend too, Mr. Shauketaly Rajapaksa, who was the state minister, he said that, you know what, it was a tough decision, and therefore if we had an election today, we'd lose it. But nevertheless, he took the decision.
That's right, true. So these are the early days. We have some time to manage it economically, agriculturally, and politically as well.
Are you all fully back with him? Maybe not Sushil Premajanta, but everybody else? Are you all back, are you all backing the president on this?
Of course, yes. Why not? Of course, yes.
Are they all, do you firmly believe, genuinely believe that these are good and sound policies that will eventually work for the country?
That's a very good decision, but you have to manage it, then and there. And the deficiencies and the lacunas that we see, we have to manage then and there. That's why we've taken, one step back in relation to tea cultivations and rubber cultivations. That's why we are, given that tasks to different ministries, different
Did you
people.
find it uncomfortable when you were seated in Parliament and Sushil Premajanta said what he said, that this is not a Montessori and all that business?
No, that is his personal view, but it's a government of 160 people.
Right.
Yeah, coming out of frustration because those individuals have also the expectations.
Yeah.
So you have to look at them at a different angle. But when it comes to the political scenario, we hope that we should be able to manage this situation. It's a global crisis. So this health hazard we never expected. This is unprecedented and unexpected. But we have managed it quite decently, as you would agree, Faraz. Health matter. Economic matter. We have some time to manage, and we are looking at that one. And also, finance minister is very keen. He's working very hard. Actually, he's a very hard-working person. He built the party to that level politically, and also he is trying to manage this economic crisis at this particular moment.
Will he be running the country soon?
No, the country is run by the president of the country.
No, I know. I mean soon. I mean the next election.
No, it's too early to predict actually. But as a person, he has a very good policy decisions, and he is a open-minded person, and he is very open towards the ethnic issue of this country. He's a very balanced man in relation to he can extend his hand to all the communities in this country. That's something very vital and something very vibrant about him.
Tell me, the last minute or two, tell me, what is Sri Lanka going to look like in a post-Mahinda Rajapaksa situation?
No, this is actually post-Mahinda Rajapaksa era.
No, I don't
this
mean
is president of the country is Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
God bless Mahinda.
So
Mahinda is, now you need to let Mahinda, it's enough that you all have taken him here, there and everywhere, and you need to let that poor man rest and relax and write his memoirs. And we will all buy the book. But
no, it would have been much better situation if not for COVID. For us, everybody, all of us know that.
Of course, we do know that.
Despite the difficulty that we encountered, we ensured that our physical development, infrastructure development work goes on. We provided 65,000 opportunities for the graduates to work in this country. We were looking after. We started the program to look after the lesser educated communities of this country. We provided that relief to the economically deprived segments of this country. So we've been doing our bit.
But Dr. Ramesh, do you know, I know that you are a well-educated man, professional, but the Sri Lankan government at state level, we've only got an output of around 35,000 graduates at State University, another 15,000 to private sector. Surely a total of 45 or 50,000 graduates is not enough to get Sri Lanka out of this $4,000 per capita GDP.
That's basically because of that matter we should discuss at a different forum for us. We should take it's because of the educational sector of the country. It doesn't provide that professional outlook to our graduates. Historically, we have not transformed that our graduates to a more professionally oriented, more business sort of people. So that you can't blame for the politicians and also education.
So there's a successive. So we need, maybe you should come on. There's that other program, Face the Nation. One Shamir Rasuddin hosts that, and I don't like touting his program, but because this is much better. But come on there, because that's 1.5 hours. Final question, Dr. Ramesh Pathirana, how bright is the future for our country?
Let us think positively. So we have seen the economic growth coming back to normalcy after minus 2.3. We expect to have a economic growth rate of about 5% at least. So next year would be much better. This is what has happened all around the world. India is recording a highest level of per capita growth this year. China is growing fast. So Sri Lanka is expected to grow faster than last couple of years. So we would see 5% GDP growth this year. Next year it would go up to about 6%. That's what we expect. So we will continue to grow. That's what had happened after First World War, Second World War, after pandemics. So world has bounced back. So Sri Lanka is also bouncing back. Hopefully our people will have a better day tomorrow.
Dr. Ramesh Pathirana, thank you very much for your time on Newsline Live.
Thank you, Faraz, for inviting.
We appreciate that. And that is the way it was on Newsline Live this evening, although this was, I repeat, a recording. due to our guest's very busy schedule. But in the meantime, have a great evening, and as always, God bless you.
TV1 News First, main sponsor.
Students complete the ACBT University Entry Foundation in 8 months for 280